Hello students, hope you all are fine. So in today's lecture, we are talking about the classical encryption technique, part 1. This is part 1 because there are two types of techniques are there. Before that, let us discuss the content of previous lecture, that is the introduction of network security. So as we know that for the security purpose, we just transfer our data or change our data into another form. So in today's lecture, we are discuss about the techniques which are used for changing that data. But these techniques are now not in use, but they are still in syllabus and they are the first initial techniques which are used for the encryption. That's why these are important. So let's start with the classical encryption technique. So these are the outlines for today's video lecture, in which first is the learning outcome. After that, introduction to cryptography, because that is very much important. What is the meaning of cryptography? How cryptography works? All the things. After that, classical encryption techniques, then types of classical encryption techniques, then the exercise on topic and references. So, come to the learning outcomes. So, these are the basic learning outcomes in which you understand that what is the cryptography. You can identify the different type of cryptographies. What is encryption? What are the encryption techniques? What are the different type of encryption techniques? After that, a little bit of exercise of 3 questions, and after that, references. So first, introduction to cryptography. So what is cryptography? So cryptography is a technique which is used for doing secure communication between two parties in the public environment, where unauthorized users and malicious attacker are present. Means when we are transmitted our data from one system to another, then we have to secure our data so that unwanted users or attackers cannot attack on our data and cannot read out. So in cryptography, there are two processes are there. First is the encryption and second one is the decryption. So the whole process, the encryption and the decryption comes together and create a cryptography. Now, as you can see in this diagram, yeah, as you can see in this diagram, uh, first is the plain text, that is input is defined here, which is submitted to a encryption algorithm. You can take any encryption algorithm, what you are taking. Then you enter a secret key that is shared by the sender and recipient. Then you transmitted the data. Then at the receiving end, the data is decrypted by the decryption algorithm with the same key by which it is encrypted by the sender side. And after that, you can get the plain text. So in this diagram, the whole process of cryptography is defined, or in different terms, the X is the plain text. After that, K is apply as a key. Then the transmitted ciphertext is defined. Y is equal to E key KX. Then it again applied in the decryption algorithm with the same key K. And after that, you again find the X, that is the plain text. So in cryptography, the transmitted ciphertext is the changed data. So nobody can access what we are transmitted, and it is only uh, shareable by only the sender and the receiver. So for this cryptography, we are using so many encryption schemes, so many encryption techniques are there, or encryption techniques or encryption algorithm we are applied so that we get the ciphertext. So today's lecture is very much important on that, the techniques of encryption. And today we are talking about the classical encryption techniques. That is the starting of our subject. So come to the classical encryption technique. So there are two types of classical encryption techniques are there. First one is the substitution technique and second one is the transposition technique, as you can see in the diagram. So the name defined here, substitution, means we just substitute a one symbol with an another, or we can say we just replace a one symbol with another symbol in substitution technique. Or in transposition technique, we just reorder the symbols. Okay, symbols are not changed, they are not replaces in transposition, but their order are changed. Now, in today lecture, we are focusing on the substitution technique, and later on uh, later lecture, we are discussing the transposition technique. So that's why today's lecture is classical encryption technique 1. So let's start with the substitution technique, and there are so many methods. So please listen carefully for that. Now, come to the substitution technique. So there are four type of substitution techniques are there: Caesar cipher, monoalphabetic, polyalphabetic, and Playfair. So these four techniques are used, in which Caesar cipher is the oldest substitution technique in security. So we will start with the Caesar cipher, but you have to. There are all types of substitution techniques are there, like Hill cipher or uh, aberration cipher are there, but we are talking, these are the four important. So let's start with the Caesar cipher. So come to the Caesar cipher. Caesar cipher is applied only on the our text, means ABCD. So this is the formula for applying of Caesar cipher. Now, what is the formula? That ciphertext Ci is equal to EPI, that is Pi is equal to 3. Pi here is the plain text, I is the character, ith character, which character is used, that is plain 3. So here I defines the number at which the plain text stand. Means this is the plain text, obviously is in the form of the ABCD. Whatever the plain text is, it uh, became a letter or a paragraph with only ABCD. So there are 26 symbols, we know 26 symbols are there from A to Z. So we just numbering all the symbols. Just number the A to 1, B to 3, C to B to 2, C to 3, D to 4, E to 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 up to dash 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 Z to 26. So we just numbering the 26 up to the whole symbol. Now, how this ciphertext is generated? Because this formula is applied here. Means we just replace the particular character with the third character in the ABCD. So A is defined by the D because this is the third. B is defined by the E, or you can say you just write the ABCD that is starting with the D and ending with the C. Okay. This point is very much important. So be listen carefully again. We just replace the character by the third character of our ABCD, in which A is replaced by the D, B is replaced by the E, C is replaced by the F. Now, using this encryption technique, if we want to encrypt a message, the message is treaty impossible. That is the plain text. This treaty impossible is the plain text. Now, if we apply the Ci is equal to EPI is equal to Pi plus 3, then After that, for T, what is the plain ciphertext? W. For R, what is the ciphertext? U. For E, what is the ciphertext? H. For A, what is the ciphertext? D. And T, what is the ciphertext? Again W. And for Y, the ciphertext is B. So WUHDWB is the ciphertext for the word TT. So by applying this algorithm, the characters which are in the plain text are changed by the different characters, as you can see in the example. So in this way, Caesar cipher works. It just replaces the particular position. But Caesar cipher is not much very secure, because in Caesar cipher, how many possible keys are there? How many possible keys are there? Only there are 26 keys are there. Maybe you can replace A with B, either C, either D, E, F, G, H, or up to Z. That is possible. So maybe the attacker or a hacker uh, decrypt your ciphertext by applying all the keys, because one of the key will be suited here. So this is the main disadvantage of Caesar cipher. After that, come to the next one, that is monoalphabetic cipher. So what is in the monoalphabetic cipher? In monoalphabetic, rather than just shifting the alphabet, we just could shuffle the letters randomly. We just shuffle the letters. Means we are not defining the position. We just shuffle a particular character to any character, but it not be repeated. The character will not be repeated. Means A is defined by D, K is defined by K, C is defined by D. So this is the which the this is uh, the jumble letters are called the key here, because these are the key. We are replacing which character by which one. It's all defined in this key. So this key is the used for that. Now, so let's take an example. Here is the plain text. If we wish to replace letters, now what will happen? I is defined by W here. F is defined by I here. W is defined by R here. W E is defined by F here. So like this. So here we take the letter randomly, or we just shuffle all the 26 letters. Clear? So this is called the monoalphabetic cipher, because in this uh, the attacker or hacker may not and will not decrypt our plain text, our ciphertext into the plain text. Now, come to the third technique, that is polyalphabetic technique. So here you can see I write the ABCD in row as well as in column, as you can see. So why this technique is used? Now, first we just create, for this technique we just create the ABCD up to Z, all the characters in the row form and in column form. So what is the method? We just write first ABCD up to Z, then starting with the B, again up to Z, up to A, starting with the C, up to B, starting with the D, up to C. So we just write the ABCD up to the 26 times. So there is a matrix is formed in the 26 by 26. Okay. Now, first we have to create this for polyalphabetic. Then we just decide a keyword, any keyword you can choose. So for this, we just decide a keyword CIPH, SIP, CIPH. Okay. Now, what is the method of polyalphabetic cipher? So in this, we just added the plain text with the keyword. Keyword, if the plain text is much bigger, then the keyword is repeated. As you can see in this example, the CIPH is repeated 2 times because the plain text is of 8 characters. Now, V Vigneri plus the keyword, that is CIPH. So we just up with the addition of these two, by help of this ABCD matrix, we just create the ciphertext. How? The first character of both the plain text and ciphertext, that is V and C. Listen carefully. V and C. So just we take the V in the row form. Here V is defined. Here V is defined. Okay. And C. C is the third one. So V and C, where they meet at the X. Clear? So first character will be X. Again, second character, that is I and I. So here it is I, and here it is I, from row wise and column wise. So the character we found Q. So we write Q. After that E, sorry, G, G with P. So here is the G and here is the P. We just go here. So we find V. So here V. So with this, we just find the ciphertext by using polyalphabetic. These three methods are simple because not such a technology, not such a big thing is used here, because they defined by the simple methods or steps. But now come to the uh, fourth one, that is Playfair. So please listen carefully for this cipher, because the steps which are used for creating a ciphertext with this technique is little bit difficult, but not so much. So let's start with the Playfair cipher. This is the last technique of our substitution technique. Now, for this, first create a square matrix of 5 by 5. Any empty matrix you can create it. Here it is a fill matrix, but you just think that this matrix is empty. So we just create a matrix of 5 by 5 here. 5 row and 5 column means 25 boxes are there. Now, take a key, any word in which the character is not be repeated. This is the first step of this technique. Take any word you can take, but in which the characters cannot be repeated. So here we take the key, that is monarchy, MONARCHY. So we just fill this word characters on this matrix, MONARCHY. All the blocks are blank right now. Okay. Now, after that, we just filling all the blocks by the ABCD and leave that characters which are already filled by using a key. Means A is also there, so it not come. B is not there, B is here. C is there, not. D is not, D. E, F, G, H is there, I. And in this, we can do two things, because as the first question arises from your side, that sir, characters are 26 and you make the square matrix of 25. So in this, only the 25 characters can be fill up. What about the 26th character? So for this, there we just leave a character that is called J, or you can take two characters in a single block. So here I just leave the character J, or you can take the J in the form of I oblique J. Both things are possible here. Clear? Now, so please, that's why I told you that please listen this carefully, and for any doubt, then ask me a query in webinar. Okay. So now, what are the rules for the encryption in Playfair cipher? What are the rules? The rules are said that what is the plain text? We just take the set of character. Means two characters are taken at a time for the ciphertext. If the two characters are in the same column, then take the letter below each one. Means if any plain text, if you find the character me, okay, so what is the ciphertext for that? C and L. Take the letter below each one, going back to top to the bottom. If MU is there, then MC is there. We are going back. We take a cycle like that. If we take a me, then ciphertext is CL. I'll give you the example also. Don't worry. Now, second point, if both the letters are in the same row wise, then take a letter to the right of each one. Means if the set of characters are LQ, then ciphertext is PS, right one. If neither the above rule is true, then form a rectangle with two letters. Means if not that set of characters are not in the row and not in the column, then we form a rectangle. Like if we have a, uh plain text like take any two words like me, M is here, enemy is here. This in the row. Okay. If is in the row, so anything that y, yes is the character. If the plain text, then ye. So y is here and e is here. So we create a rectangle of that, this one. And what is the ciphertext? C and G. Okay. So these are the three rules, but uh, let's take an example with this square in which we are using a key monarchy. Okay. Now, if the plain text is instruments, then encrypted text is get lem squares. What is that? So how it works? First two characters, that is in. In. Where is I? Here. N is here. Then we create a rectangle, and what is the ciphertext? G and A. First G is defined. Then second one is ST. ST. S is there, T is there. Then what is the ciphertext? L or P. L or S T. Then what is the ciphertext? Sorry, T and L. One, right? Then S is from T and T is from L. After that, RU. So R is here, U is here. Then what is created? MZ. After that, again set is ME. Then M is here, E is here. So ciphertext is CL. Then NT. N is here, T is here. Ciphertext RQ. Last is SZ. SZ. S is here, Z is here. TX. So in this way, we create a ciphertext by using a monarchy or by using a Playfair techniques. So I think so with this diagram or with this example, all things are clear of Playfair techniques. So uh, these four techniques are known as transposition techniques, which are using in security purpose in computer science, or these are the methods or these are the steps for by which we create a ciphertext. Now, this is the small exercise for you, that how many types of questions uh, in OT can be generated. So please go through the lecture and complete this exercise with the right answer. So, so in today's lecture, we all discuss the transposition techniques of classical encryption technique. That okay. So these techniques are now not in used in present scenario, but these are very important to discuss. Now, in the next lecture or uh, next lecture, we will discuss about these are substitution technique. So in the next lecture, we are discussing about the transposition technique, in which we just reorder the character. So these all are very important. So these are the reference and textbook. I just refer only William Stallings. That is a very good book because the language is very easy. And one more book is and reference is defined here. That is Eric My World. That is fundamental of network security. So that is all about for today's lecture. And these are references. So thank you very much for listening my lecture. And please go through the some uh, different examples of these techniques so you can understand all the steps. So thank you very much.